What's up, guys? It is Chase here, and we're going to be going over my gimmick tank once again. All attributes going to health. I have 40,000 resistance, 23.4% critical chance, which helps because it's a higher chance of critically healing yourself. 3,300 weapon and spell damage, which is also helpful because that's equal to more healing. 2183 stamina recovery, 2055 magic recovery, and 1663 health recovery. 14 for 148 10 magica, and 12770 stamina, and I have 1403 health. I'm using the Serpent Mundus Stone for more stamina recovery. I'm not as worried about mag recovery, because as you can see I got a staff, so if I need to I can just heavy attack to restore magicka. I am a high elf, and I'm an arcanist. Okay, I am an ESL Plus member, but for this build, you actually don't need a whole lot. Most of the gear is crafted. At most, you need 3 DLCs for this build. And that is Greymoor, High Isle, and Murkmire. Because you need to get... you have to get a mythic item, and we'll talk about that in a bit, but the most DLCs you need for this build is Greymoor, High Isle, and Murkmire. Okay? I'm using smoked bear haunch for the food. And I know this is very expensive, but if you don't need it, or if you don't want it, this is very expensive. This thing gets me broke occasionally. So if you don't think you can afford this, then you can use literally any food that increases recovery for all 3. Because you don't really need that max health as much as you do the recovery. I have major protection at all times, which is from one of my abilities. So I'm running Ice Staff of the Willow's Path. This says crafted, and I have a hardening enchantment with defending on the staff. This does not matter. This is for my 2-bar tank. This one is a 1-bar because it's a gimmick build. And then I have the necklace of the Willow's Path with health recovery and protective. I have the ring of Willow's Path with stamina recovery and protective. This is what Willow's Path does. That's how I have really high recovery. And then I have Oaken Soul Ring with magic recovery and protective. I guess you could also need the Somerset DLC, yeah. Because Oaken Soul, I forgot, like, you can get somebody else to craft this in protective. But I forgot, Oaken Soul comes in infused automatically. So yeah, in order to research protective, you also need Somerset. Greymoor, High Isle, Murkmire, and Somerset. Those are the only DLCs you need for this. But to get this mythic item in particular, you need Greymoor, High Isle, and Murkmire. You need Greymoor to scry, and then you need High Isle, because one of the leads comes from that zone, and then you need Murkmire, because, again, one of the leads comes from the safe boxes in that zone. I'm not going to read this whole thing. You can pause it if you want to read it. Go ahead, but I'm going to continue on. It says fortified brass. Reinforced. Every armor piece is heavy with reinforced, by the way, and max health. So this adds more armor and more health. This is how I have so much resistance. Fortified brass, and I have everything reinforced, which is even more resistance. So it's important that you go reinforced for this build. This isn't even my full resistance, by the way, because if I put my banner on, I have 43k. And now if I cast this ability, I have 48k. But I have to actually be in combat, or I have to be in combat with an actual enemy whenever this thing gets full resistance, because this set would have to proc for that. So I have around 52 to 53k resistance when fully buffed. So I'm wearing Lord Warden for my monster set. This comes out of Imperial City Prison, which is a base game zone. This set is crafted. This set is also crafted. The only things you actually need to farm for this build is Oaken Soul and Lord Warden. So this build is very easy to get. If you're not a crafter, you can just find somebody, or you can add me and I'll craft it for you. My username on PlayStation is the same as my tag on YouTube. So I'm using Runic Sunder. I'm not really using it for the taunt, even though this is a tank, but if you think about it, PvP tanks don't really need a taunt, because taunting a player has absolutely no effect whatsoever. So PvP tanks don't really need a taunt. So I'm not particularly using this for the taunt. Instead, I'm using it for the damage mitigation, the minor maim, and the armor bonus. Spite Ward of the Lucid Mind. This is really good. You can get the other morph if you don't think you're comfortable using this one, but this one will give you more sustain. The other morph is a stronger shield, but this one says consume crooks to heal yourself, scaling off your max health, and refund 30% of the Spite Ward of the Lucid Mind cost per crook spent. So if you have 3 crooks, if you have all 3 crooks, this will refund 90% of the cost. And then I'm just giving you a sneak peek at my champion points real quick. Shield Master. This will give you 10% cost reduction for your shields. I'm not really a damage shield build, so I'm not entirely using this for the shield. I'm using it for the heal. And because this will consume crooks to heal yourself and refund the cost, instead of just healing yourself and giving you a bigger shield like the other one, this one is better. This one is better for this build because it refunds the cost, so it's pretty much a free heal. Like, you can spam that. Like, you can sit there in someone's face all day and spam this, and your health bar will not move an inch. I'll show you the rotation for this build in a bit. It's going to be kind of hard to demonstrate how good it is because it's a PvP tank, and I don't have another player to duel right now. So this one is another thing that's giving me extra armor. Gives me armor whenever I cast an ability for this skill line. So when this thing is active, you're not only getting the 2200 armor that it says it gives you, you're also getting an extra 3271 armor. And then this is giving you bonus recovery. This thing is giving you minor evasion, which is actually not part of Oaken Soul. So this is still a useful passive. This will give you extra ulti gen, which is helpful, because I'm an ulti spammer. The idea of this build is that you're an ulti spammer. If you run low, no, not run low. If you start to generate ulti, you need to spam it. I don't care how low you are, you need to spam your ulti, especially in PvP with this build. Because people will wreck you in a few seconds if you don't do that. Your ulti is actually really cheap. It only costs 90. And with Oaken Soul and the other ulti gen buffs, you can actually get that pretty quickly. It takes somebody about 20 to 30 seconds to kill me before I can generate, or before I can get my ulti. If they can't kill me within 20 to 30 seconds, they're not going to kill me at all, because I'm an ulti spammer. And when this thing procs, I can out-heal anything. Give me a second. I gotta go talk to my mom real quick. Give me a second. She just told me to get ready for school when I'm done. So I have Healing Tides passives down to this one. You don't need the bottom one because you're not using any of these abilities. I used to use Rune Mend, but I got rid of it because I got something better. So you need Healing Thicket. And then you need every passive for this skill line and every passive for Souls of Apocrypha. This one, you only need the top 3 passives. Save your skill points. For Destruction Staff, you need the top 1 and then the bottom 2. Heavy Armor, you need every passive, as always, for a tank. For Sigic Order, this is the ability I replaced Rune Mend with. Introspection. This is the morph for Meditate. Still leveling it up, so this will actually get stronger, because this is one of the abilities that will increase in potency based on how much you rank up. So it says focus your body and mind into a meditative state, healing for 1943 health and restoring 1500 magicka and stamina every 1 second. Maintaining the channel increases the health restored by 10% every tick, up to a maximum of 50%. You will remain in a meditative state until you toggle this ability off or interrupted. So if my character has low resource recovery, I go with the other one, Deep Thoughts. But if I have high resource recovery, like this one has over 2k, because it stacks with your recoveries, I will go with Introspection, because it's more health. And then you need to get Sigigorder to level 9. You need it to level 8 in order to unlock this ability. And I suggest purchasing this and slotting it when it gets to level 8. The unmorphed is called Meditate, because it will actually level up as you complete the next quest. Because you need level 9 to get this passive, which will give you a 30% damage reduction when this ability is active. So you're not entirely vulnerable. Your healing will increase over time, and you get extra damage mitigation. And then, of course, this passive helps getting a damage shield when you block. It says this shield recharges back to full strength after you spend 10 seconds not bracing. So Undaunted, you need to get every passive maxed out. Same thing with Assault and Support. You gotta remember, this is a PvP build. So Assault and Support both need to be at level 10 and have every passive put into it. I'll talk about the Fortifying Banner in a bit. Magicka Aid is one of the most important ones, though, because that's going to give you more mag recovery. A full 20% for this build, because I have 2 of them slotted. I'll talk about how to make this ability in a bit, because it's scribed. But it says reduces your damage taken by 6%. Create a Crooks if you have none. Generates 3 ultimate if you already have Crooks. This effect reapplies itself every 5 seconds. So, since you're spamming your Runic Sunder, this will most likely generate an ultimate. And 3 ultimate every 5 seconds does help with this build, because you're an ulti spammer. So literally anything that generates ulti can help. And then you need Revealing Flare. You don't have to morph it, and you don't have to use it. You just need to keep it slotted, because it's a free 10% mitigation. But if you do morph it, I would go with Blinding Flare. I'm saving my skill points, though. But if you want to morph it, go with Blinding Flare. That's the better option. This one just lasts longer, but this one stuns them. A stun is better. I'm a high elf. And by the way, I probably didn't mention this before, but another good option for this build would be Imperial, because you get reduced cost of all your abilities, including your ultimate. So I am a high elf, but yeah, another good option for this build would be Imperial. So I think Imperial is actually better, so I would say if you can, go with Imperial. I know it's a DLC race, and I did not have Imperial when I made this character. So if you can, go with Imperial. But if you can't, go with a high elf. That's the next best pick. Because I have this ability that's channeled. And then it says when you are using an ability with a channel or cast time, you take 5% less damage, which adds on to the 30% from the passive. That's another reason why High Elf is really good, because you get even more mitigation than just the 30% from the passive, because this counts as a channeled ability. When you activate an ability, you restore 625 magicka or stamina, based on whichever is lowest. This effect can occur once every 6 seconds. This is also helpful because it stacks with the shield refunding the cost. This increases your max magicka by 2,000. Imperials don't have this passive, they get max stamina and max health. But you would have more health than me if you were an Imperial, because High Elves don't have a health passive. You don't need to use potions on this build. Your sustain is already good enough without them. So save your potions for other characters. I don't worry about these. I like to get the Hireling personally and the top one, So that way I can collect higher level mats and get free mats every day. But the main ones you need are the provisioning. Level 20 or level 47 max. You don't need to get to 50, just 47 at most for these two passives. This adds 20 minutes to the duration of any eaten food, and this one adds 20 minutes to the duration of any consumed drink. So, now I'm going to show you my champion points real quick. I need to blow my nose. I got bad sinus infection. Sorry. Alright. So you don't even need champion points in Bulwark or this one. I just did that for fun. Because I have enough champion points. I'm level 2000. And I have Tireless Discipline for more stamina, Eldritch Insight for more health, and as always, this one will increase your chance of critically healing yourself, not just critical damage, so keep that in mind. I have Soothing Tide. That will increase the healing from your ultimate. And this will increase your healing done from healing over time. That will also increase your ultimate. Enduring Resolve, which reduces your damage taken by damage over time attacks by 3% per stage, so 6% max. This one is good because I'm not really a hot build. The only hot I have is my ultimate. My shield is a single target burst heal. So this is good because it reduces your damage taken from dots. All of these passives need to be maxed out as usual for the tank. I need to max out Blessed. Max out from the brink. This one is your flex spot. Hang on. Why is it not working? Okay, so this one is your flex spot. It's either from the brink or you can have this one, which will give you more recovery. I like to have from the brink because it'll save me. But this one is good too. See, I got more recovery that way. Oh yeah, I forgot about fitness and craft champion points. So the craft one, you need to max out Gifted Rider. You don't have a choice, you're a Cyrodiil build. This is a Cyrodiil tank, so mount speed has to be as fast as possible. And you need to max out mount stamina and mount speed, and you need the Gifted Rider CP. I guess you can get this one. This one you only need to put 10 into. I just did that for fun. Because again, I have enough champion points to do that. Again, this one you don't need to put any into, but it helps. Break Fall needs to be maxed out. Soul Reserver is helpful. Steadfast Enchantment needs to be maxed out. Same with Rationer. This one is helpful, especially if you're trying to level the Meditate ability, because that takes a bit to morph. Steed's Blessing, you need Sustaining Shadows and Professional Upkeep. Now I have Slippery. So this is your flex spot. If you're going into PvE, go with Strategic Reserve. If you're going in PvE, go into Strategic Reserve for PvE, and only use ulti as a last resort. If you're in PvP, use Slippery, and you want to spam that ulti like there's no tomorrow. So you need Boundless Vitality for more health. I already talked about Shield Master earlier. You need Hasty. Just max out all these passives, basically. Like I do for every build. Get Mystic Tendency, and then get Pain's Refuge. This will give you more mitigation based on the amount of debuffs you have. This one is also helpful. So I'm going to show you the rotation. Basically, build 3 crooks, cast your shield, cast ulti as soon as you have it, heavy attack, build 3 crooks, now build 1 crooks, heavy attack, build 2 more, cast shield, build 1, heavy attack, build 2 more, cast shield, cast ulti, build 2 crooks, heavy attack, cast shield, build 1 more, heavy attack again to generate ulti, and build 2 more. That's how the rotation works on this build. You can see that my Magka is barely even moving. That's how this build works. You're an ulti spammer, and your shield will be cheaper based on the amount of crooks you have. Now I just need to show you how to make the banner. So come over to a scribing altar, get banner bearer. You need mitigation script, which is giving you 6% mitigation. You need class mastery, which takes a bit of grinding to get, but it's worth it. This will give you 1 crooks once every 5 seconds, or if you have a crooks already, it will give you 3 ultimate instead. And this will give you minor resolve, which is not part of Oaken Soul. And I looked through these buffs. Every buff the banner can possibly give every buff the banner can possibly give is part of Oaken Soul, except for the minor resolve. So this is the one you need. Any other one and you're not even increasing anything on the build. So any Oaken Soul build with banner, they need to get the resolve script.